Glenn Beck has done a segment called Questions with Boldness. He wants to ask bold questions, such as, is what Obama is doing and the progressives in this country somewhat related to the Nazis? Well, that is a bold question. Now, of course, he's going to tell you, no, I'm not, I'm not saying they are Nazis. I'm just saying they look startlingly similar and would like to do similar things. Wow, thank you for that caveat. We really appreciate it. Now, if that sounds like it's too strong, come on, he didn't really say that, he didn't really intimate that or infer that, well, we're going to let you be the judge here. Let's go to clip number 1.
America, there is so much anger and hatred in this country right now.
Gee, I wonder why.
And it is important that we have an honest conversation here and understand clearly what is being said on this program. No one is saying that eugenics are coming. The builder of the master race was only part of the problem in Germany, made possible after they began to devalue life. They tried to figure out how much is a life worth and put a price on how much each individual was worth. And some were worth more than others.
Oh, come on, man.
I want to show you a poster that I saw this morning getting ready for the show, and I want you to know that I have a daughter that was born with cerebral palsy, and they said that when she was born that she would never walk or talk or feed herself. She went to college. They were wrong. This poster bothers me so much because the hand of the person shown in this poster reminds me of my reminds me of my daughter's hand.
You're such a fraud.
This is from Nazi Germany.
Way to exploit your daughter.
It says in German,
Classy move,
if you can get
dick.
a tight shot here, it says in German, basically, it's going to cost 60,000 marks to keep this man alive.
How does that look like your daughter?
He's sitting here with a gnarled hand. He's a sweet guy and everything, the poster says, but his quality of life, it's a shame. But your time is up. Then there is this poster. This is also from Germany in World War II. This one shows an institution here and all of the houses that could be built with the money if we could just eliminate this institution. I don't believe that this is a matter that is appropriate for laughter or for jokes. I want you to clearly understand that I don't think he wants to kill your grandmother or unplug your grandmother. It would be truly an evil person that would do that. However, what happened in Germany was they couldn't afford health care for all. You see, they had devalued their mark, our dollar. They had devalued it so much because the government just started to print money. Does that sound familiar? It has only been done a few times in the world's history, and it has never ended any other different way than it did in the Weimar Republic. That forced Germany into an economic collapse. America, I ask you to take a good, long, hard look at what's going on today. You must ask with boldness, could our economy, the way we are currently spending and printing at will, possibly go into some sort of emergency situation? Could it collapse? Is it possible? Is it possible that our debt is so high that we can't pay it back, or we have to make tough decisions and possibly ration health care? The answer, everyone will tell you, is yes.
No.
So then, is it crazy? Is it ridiculous to say, all right, if we have a crisis in our monetary system, what will our government and our president do? Before I introduce you to my panel, I want to show you one more thing. This is a poster from Germany. See if this rings a bell to anyone or looks familiar, just in a different kind of media. This is something that translates here at the bottom to the complainer. Can you zoom in on this one? Here's the complainer. These are 4 men. Notice how ugly they are. How some of them look rich or fat or whatever. Maybe Jewish, maybe this one. I don't know. They're all the complainers. They're all standing around in a circle, and they're all standing around in a circle talking about how horrible things are and how we shouldn't do this. The parade back here are the supporters. This is a poster of what you see every day now in the news media, making the complainers, the Tea Party goers, look somehow rotten.
No, that did not look familiar at all. There were swastikas in the background. I don't know what he's talking about. How did that look familiar? Anyway, look, a couple things about that disturbed me. One, now, that lasted for 19 minutes overall. We didn't give you the part where he kept saying Nazis, progressives, Nazis, progressives, right? He mentioned them in the same sentence over and over again, kind of like Bush did with Al-Qaeda, Iraq. Al-Qaeda, Iraq. I didn't say Al-Qaeda was in Iraq. Did I say that? No. I just said they were in this, you mentioned them in the same sentence about 100 different times. And he said, I'm not saying the progressives are Obama's Nazis. I'm just saying, doesn't it look familiar? No, Glenn, it doesn't look familiar. And frankly, the way you used your daughter there, I thought was sickening. You know, we've seen that fake crying, what, now a dozen times when he does that same old thing, like, and it's, and to do that with your daughter's medical condition and then to compare that to, you know, what people want to do to her to what the Nazis did, it's really grotesque. By the way, who wants to do anything to your daughter? What do you mean? Like, so the Nazis wanted to get rid of that guy that you showed on the poster. Who wants to get rid of your daughter? He says, well, I'm not telling you they're going to pull the plug on grandma, but look at what they're going to do to my daughter. Who? What are you talking about? See, this is absolute fear-mongering at its worst. I mean, he keeps comparing progressives and this administration to Nazis over and over and over again, and every once in a while I throw out a caveat. I'm not saying that I'm comparing them to Nazis, but let me show you posters of Nazis and then compare it to them. This is going to cause trouble, man. It really is. And they're doing it on purpose. They did it on purpose in the 1990s, and they stoked up people like Timothy McVeigh and then said, well, we had nothing to do with it, man. And they're doing it again, and when someone does something crazy, they're going to say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. We showed you earlier the crazy Ohio militia guy, and he said, look, it's like what the Nazis did. That little clip that the crazy Ohio militia guy played looked like the little clip that Glenn Beck just played. Just stoking the fires. Now, his logic is, okay, if we have a lot of debt, that's going to lead to, and no one will dispute this according to Glenn Beck, rationing. Okay, and if we have rationing, then obviously that's going to lead to what happened in Nazi Germany. To say that those connections are tenuous is to understate it grandly. Okay, now am I concerned about the debt in this country? Of course I am. Any reasonable person should be concerned about it. Now I know some progressives are saying, hey, you know what? That's not that important at this point. I get Yeah, but you know what? I heard Dick Cheney say that deficits don't matter anymore either. No, they matter. No question about it. But it's not going to lead to rationing, and it's not going to lead to the Weimar Republic turning into Nazi Germany. To say that is absolute 100% unadulterated fear-mongering, hate-mongering, and trying to encourage people to do crazy stuff. And he just says things that have no connection to reality. He's like, and then they printed money. Like, kind of sound familiar? And no other country has ever done that. How can he say that? Every country prints money. How can you be so unbelievably unattached from reality to say that? The question is, how much money are you printing? And the problem that the Weimar Republic ran into is because they printed an insane amount of money. Now, if you're saying we're doing the same thing, show me some numbers, okay? And show me some facts, and let's have a legitimate and interesting discussion about it. No, he just makes up the thing of no one ever prints money. Really? Then how did all the money come from? Where did it come from? Where did the euro come from? Where did the franc or the mark or the dollar or the pound come from? What, no one ever printed it? Come on. Unfortunately, his audience is so dumb, they're like, oh yeah, did you know the only people that ever printed money are the Germans and us? That's going to lead to rationing, and then they're going to kill everybody. So grab your gun!